Semi-autonomous and autonomous mining equipment will continue to be more prevalent in the future through the advancements in mining daily. Autonomous mining equipment can operate without human control, and semi-autonomous equipment is able to operate to some degree without human control. Currently, the issues concerning autonomous and semi-autonomous mining equipment are the lack of employment opportunities, the high cost of the machinery, and the possibility of error, which may cause harm to the workers. On the other hand, the use of autonomous and semi-autonomous mining equipment is a benefit to the future, due to the use of advanced technology, the dramatic reduction in cost, and the newly discovered tactics. To support my thesis, here's a visual with interviews to describe the benefits of using autonomous and semi-autonomous mining equipment, as well as an example from the Caterpillar company explaining the advancements in mining equipment.
Caterpillar's vision is that we've assembled all of the building blocks that a mine could put together a fully autonomous operation if they wanted. They're also decoupleable. They can be deployed independently.
Semi-autonomous. As the market leader in mining equipment and solutions, it's a vision Hastings Deering has supported from day one. Our people, our expertise, and our support network is firmly behind Caterpillar, as we work together to deliver semi-autonomous technology solutions that will help our customers improve productivity, reduce operating costs, and achieve safer workplaces.
Well, it started with manual technology. Initially, the introduction of high-precision GPS to precisely guide machinery and improve the accuracy of the work it does. Then moved into control systems for the machine, still having a man on board the machine, but automating specific functions of the machine. And now we're knitting together all of those subsystems to create a fully autonomous machine.
Essentially a standard D11T tractor, roughly 110 metric tons. The blade on the front is a 42.2 cubic metre U-blade, and then we've put the autonomy layer on top of it.
They are precision control machines. We've got high precision GPS on it, so we will know the position of the blade within centimetres of precision. There will be an improvement in accuracy, and more importantly, we think an improvement in consistency.
The one thing we're always doing is looking at the next thing that is on the horizon. So for us, the next step is going autonomy. Autonomy with the drills, autonomy with the dozers, and obviously autonomy with the trucks. We can offer something that will be safer. There'll be less HPIs, less soft tissue injuries. Also, there should be a cost benefit by using us over a traditional earth-moving contractor with autonomy eventually. So that's why we're doing it, to be the leader.
We really are interested in the safety of our operators. Terry and I have got a big interest in our operators. We know a lot of our operators personally. So for us to rather send machines into dangerous conditions is just a much, much better option to see our operators go home safely.
So they completely eliminate exposure to people from high walls, falling rocks, those sorts of things, cave-ins, because there is no operator in the vicinity.
What this system will enable us to do is to, automate the entire dozer slot pushing operation. They can be remotely operated from a command center, whereby in all cases the machine operator's off the machine, safely out of harm's way in a comfortable environment. We'll get on with dozing productions in a much safer and a more consistent manner.
So the machines will be working harder because they don't slow down for things that would affect operator comfort. What it brings is the increased utilisation. You don't have to stop the machine for the operator to stretch their legs, take breaks. The machine will run basically with fuel as your limitation. So on these dozers, 13, 14 hours of operation.
Opposing sides of autonomous and semi-autonomous mining equipment argue that the use of the equipment limits the availability of jobs, that more accidents occur due to GPS crashing incidents and signal loss incidents, and that the cost of the equipment is unable to be justified. With today's up-and-coming technology, semi-autonomous and autonomous mining equipment will change the future of mining. This equipment is bettering the work environment on mine sites due to the advancements in technologies, the reduction of cost, and the new discovery of beneficial tactics.
Which of these people is most like a hacker, a burglar, a vandal, an inventor, or a spy? The answer completely depends on whom you ask, because the word hacker has taken on all of these meanings and more over the years. But it's the wrong question. It's like asking, is a chisel something you use to break into safes, to deface buildings, or to carve statues? No, the questions we should be asking are, what is hacking and why do people do it? In the broadest possible terms, hacking is creative problem solving that takes advantage of the properties of things in unexpected ways. So when Galileo used curved glass to magnify the stars, that was a hack. Or when NASA engineers saved Apollo 13 with a book, a plastic bag, and a roll of duct tape, that was a hack. Of course, usually when hacking comes up, we're talking about computer hacking, but the idea is the same. Computer hacking is just creative problem solving that takes advantage of the properties of computers and networks in unexpected ways. For example, phone providers used to use tones and beeps to get their phones to communicate with their networks. What they did not expect was that hackers would figure out that those tones could be imitated with toy whistles found in Captain Crunch cereal boxes, thereby bypassing the need to pay for the call. So why do hackers hack? Many are driven by intellectual curiosity. They want to learn how a system works to discover its quirks and hidden secrets. They are like cave explorers who venture into darkness and see what they can find. Steve Wozniak, one of the founders of Apple, started out like this. Like many hackers, his early explorations inspired him to start tinkering and inventing. Other hackers are like the security forces who want to defend their fortresses of information. They find the chinks in the internet's armor, like the Heartbleed bug, and patch them up before they can be used against you. And of course, there are hackers with less than noble intentions. They can be motivated by greed, fame, rebellion, or the desire to hurt others for cheap thrills. These are the hackers that media stories have taught us to fear. Some of them are brilliant minds gone astray, but many of these so-called hackers are just kids who run programs that they don't understand. Others are criminal syndicates that may know more about cheating and robbing people than creative problem solving. There are also hackers who operate in morally gray areas, who might steal information to expose corruption, or violate privacy in the name of national security. They consider what they're doing just and for the greater good, while others see their actions as dishonorable and wrong. But assigning labels of right and wrong or good and bad to hacking is no more productive than pinning those labels to a hammer. It's how and why the hammer is used, to build or to destroy, that matters, and that you must choose for yourself. Hackers, like hammers, are here to stay, whether we like it or not.
Companies like Google, Apple, and Amazon have created smart home devices to help homeowners make life more efficient. There have been multiple investigations into these products to prove this fact, and if people became more educated on the privacy settings of their devices, they can ultimately prevent hackers. For example, a company like Ring invented a custom door locking system that connects to your phone with a click of a button. Ring makes having a custom password critical, as it's connected to your home and hackers would steal your personal information. Ultimately, it is important to educate the public on cyber hacking in order to prevent future hackers from gaining personal information from people's phones and other smart home devices. In order to educate people on better security, we need to show them a detailed list towards creating better passwords and antivirus systems to educate the society. A recent cyber attack has happened in 2017 on an Austrian ski resort. The cyber attack occurred through a smart climate control system in the hotel, where a hacker demanded billions of dollars as a ransom. This cyber attack proves that there needs to be more security among smart home devices, including an IT team, to help fight future cyber attackers. This is a real-life example of the horrible outcome of cyber hacking and will further support my point that there needs to be more security for these options. However, there are many people who believe smart home devices are not needed and inefficient. In a recent investigation, it was shown that Alexa listens to their users' conversations without permission and when not on. A company called Checkmarx reported the virus in the Amazon Alexa systems. This proves that smart home devices need to have more cybersecurity in place and that the public needs to be more informed on how to prevent hacking. How would you feel if I told you that Alexa can listen to your conversations when not on?
I would feel like that would be an invasion of my privacy, and I'd like to learn if there are settings that I could turn off to prevent this from happening.
And do you think the public needs more education on cybersecurity?
I do think that the public needs more information on cybersecurity.
Even with these ongoing investigations into Alexa and Google and how they can listen into your conversations, will you still use smart home devices?
Yes, I will still use them because they are efficient, but I do think that there should be more education on using them.
Machines taking over the workforce has been a heavily debated topic in recent times. On one hand, a large part of humanity's success is due to the advancements and applications of technology that have been made over the years. However, many people are beginning to express concerns that machines might be advancing too far and will eventually take over any and all jobs, leaving humans with no means to make any money. These concerns, while perfectly logical, are misplaced. The rise of the machines in the workforce should be welcomed in society because machines are cheaper, faster, and more precise than humans are. They have the potential to create new jobs. There are some jobs that machines absolutely cannot replace, and it would result in economic growth.
Many of the products that we spend a lot of our money on, air conditioners, sport utility vehicles, computers, and mobile devices, were unattainably expensive or just hadn't been invented a century ago. As automation frees our time and increases the scope of what is possible, we invent new products, new ideas, new services that command our attention, occupy our time, and spur consumption.
To the extent that automation is destroying either routine, uninteresting, dangerous, hazardous work, that may be a good thing. And also hopefully creating other kinds of work. And the economy has done that for decades. One of the things that gets lost in the conversation about automation is that there are actually enormous benefits to us as a society.
New technology creates jobs in a few ways. There are the direct jobs for people who design and maintain the technology, and sometimes whole new industries built on the technology. But the part we tend to forget is the indirect effect of labor-saving inventions. When companies can do more with less, they can expand, maybe add new products or open new locations. And they can lower prices to compete. And that means consumers can buy more of their product. Or if we don't want more of it, we can use the savings to buy other things. Maybe we go to more sports events or out to dinner more often. Maybe we get more haircuts or add more daycare for the kids. This process is how our standard of living has improved over time, and it's always required workers.
Let's go back to the 1850s, when trains were the most popular mode of transportation. This chart shows the number of locomotive engineers, railroad conductors, and brakemen increasing by nearly 600%. But that growth slowed in the early 1900s. Why? You guessed it, the automobile came along. Car mechanic and repairman jobs surged, even though railroad jobs began to disappear. And some companies say the same thing will happen when robots move into the marketplace. A survey of 20,000 employers from 42 countries found that the IT, customer service, and advanced manufacturing industries will add workers over the next 2 years as a result of automation.
While it is true that automation could be good for the economy, it can still fail if we do not properly prepare for it. Investing in educating the future generations on better ways to operate in a society that has increased its use of technology in the workforce will aid in ensuring the safety of the economy as machines progress.
Consider two countries, Norway and Saudi Arabia, both oil-rich nations. It's like they have money spurting out of a hole in the ground. But they haven't used that wealth equally well to foster human prosperity, human prospering. Norway is a thriving democracy. By and large, its citizens work and play well together. It's typically numbered between first and fourth in rankings of national happiness. Saudi Arabia is an absolute monarchy in which many citizens lack a path for personal advancement. It's typically ranked 35th among nations in happiness, which is low for such a wealthy nation. Just by way of comparison, the US is typically ranked around 12th or 13th. The difference between these two countries is not their wealth and it's not their technology, it's their institutions. Norway has invested to build a society with opportunity and economic mobility. Saudi Arabia has raised living standards while frustrating many other human strivings. Two countries, both wealthy, not equally well off.
With the increasing rate at which technology advances every day, it is impossible to stop the infiltration of machines into our jobs and daily lives. It would benefit us as a society to embrace this change instead and to evolve with it.